Definitely a worthwhile idea. M3 definitely taking their time on this final ban, though, and it is going to be Azir, so Dade was considering whether or not they wanted to first pick that one up, and it is going to be taken away from Xiaohu instead.
Priority now on Victor, you know, on the M3 lineup. These are the three mid laners that Dade has liked to play. You can throw Cassidy in there as well, but Cassiopeia, Azir, and Victor is what he has been defaulting back to. And, you know, that's the first time we can say that about Dade. List 3 meta mid laners that he really has begun to master.
Yeah, the other crazy thing is the fact that they're now sort of in a bit of a corner. They have to ban either the Ryze or the Victor, and it's going to be difficult letting the Ryze through. Definitely a flex pick for M3 if they pick it up.
Yeah,
Looper's going to waste no time and lock it in.
Yeah, I like the fact that you pointed out Ryze as a flex pick. Looper is actually a very good mage top laner. You feel the tank meta hurt Looper the most out of everyone, and he loves to play things like Ryze up there in the top lane, but Dade also a terrific Ryze player, so if they go something that has very good, I guess, skirmish potential, or something that you can see automatically like a Maokai that's going to be a lane swap, they can just chuck it in the mid lane and give him something like Nah. Looper's shown that he's completely fine on that as well.
Yeah, M3 definitely able to move around as much as they like. RNG considering locking in their bottom lane. We'll see whether that is going to be the idea here, but still a lot of picks available. Yeah,
that's a very... I guess with Gragas and Rek'Sai, you don't really need to prioritize one right now. But picking bottom lane just means that you want to counter-pick the top side of the map. Something that we haven't seen in a long time, and especially because Corki went out of the meta a little bit. Now coming back, especially in the LPL, we'll have to see whether Whoosh is able to make it work.
Yeah, and I guess the Corki pick can open up some sort of poke option. We haven't necessarily seen poke work just yet. RNG may opt for something like that, but look, not exactly snapping up the priority picks over the side of RNG. It is going to be Gragas the consideration for Condi. Of course, MLXG able to pick up a lot of his early game junglers, such as the Rek'Sai, like you mentioned, or perhaps even in Italy, of course, was playing that one very early on in her reign of the jungle, and it is going to be the Janna locked in here for Love CD. Definitely a standard pick for him.
And this is why I'm surprised they went with Corki, because I honestly think that Condi's best champion right now is Gragas. You know, he's played a lot of Rek'Sai, but Gragas just seems to be where he is most comfortable, apart from the Lee Sin, of course, which he is known for. But yeah, now with 2 disengage options, Janna's Monsoon as well as a Gragas barrel coming out there, means that if any hard engage does come through, they're going to be able to kite back well. And they also have some good consistent CC to help either Looper or Dade out, whoever takes that Ryze.
Yeah, RNG looking to consider a whole lot of mid-game pressure here with a possible Rumble pickup. Not going to be the case, though, as Nautilus is the consideration in the end. Locked in there for Lei. It is going to be...
Let me.
You reckon Let Me's playing it?
Well, that's a Thresh. That is the first pick, so I'm going to assume.
Yeah, well, look, I was going straight for the Thresh 80 carry. I guess that's not happening, as Xiaohu would probably like to take the Corki into the mid lane. SMLZ, though, going back to a comfort pick here on the
City
Sivir.
In the bottom lane, you know, just Thresh Nautilus.
If only. If this was the last series, I actually wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
No, Name is the one serious person on King.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but it is going to be another top lane Nautilus. And, you know, this is something that is very good in the 2v1, which is why it consistently gets picked up now in the LPL. Able to get a lot of damage down. You just shove out waves. It's hard to fast push against Nautilus, and you cannot dive him because he has, like, CC riddled throughout his kit.
Yeah.
Nearly suicide to go in there. And Vladimir picked up on the other side of the rift.
Yeah, double flex picks here for M3. They can swap them between Looper as they see fit.
I actually think that's a mid Vladimir coming through there.
Well,
Dade does like to play it, and Looper will prefer to take, I guess, the Ryze up there in the top lane. So we'll have to see whether that is the case. A lot of magic damage so far, and that's why I think they've gone with the Sivir, because, you know, people like mentioning Sivir's ultimate is the reason that you pick her, but also does AoE AD damage, which means that you cannot ignore and just pick up magic resist, because Sivir shreds, especially towards the later stage of the mid game.
Yeah, and if you can make sure you can get a clumped up team fight as well, whereas M3 actually with a whole lot of disengage if they want to, but their all-in is fantastic with that Hemo Plague. Of course, Looper running around with his ultimate, such low cooldowns as well, being a machine gun Ryze. They do have a lot of damage if they need it, and then if they need to get out, just Explosive Cask and Monsoon their way out of there. So M3's comp definitely making me pretty happy here, as Xiaohu is going to lock away the Jace. So a fair bit of poke damage to come through from this side, but not sure whether it's enough damage.
It's not a poke comp, it's a siege comp. So getting in there, it's going to be the Jace trying to shove people off turrets, and Jace Corki shreds through them very quickly, especially with the overdrive coming through from Jace. So I actually like RNG's comp right now. When you see disengage, siege is a very good option.
Well, we'll see whether it does work as we are going through the lineups here. Very standard in the jungle here as Gragas is going to meet the Rek'Sai. And in the mid lane, this is where things could get exciting here as Dade on his Vladimir, of course, definitely a tried and true champion for him as Xiaohu picks up his Jace for the second time around. SMLZ, though, he's going to be on the Sivir, and Woosh going to have, you know, some fun with the Phosphorus Bomb. Just hopes that it doesn't get spell shielded away as Love City on the Janna against Lamb. So a bit of a disengaged battle as Lamb's going to have a little bit more engage power there with the Death Sentence.
Yeah, certainly does, but Love CD will be able to, I guess, negate any aggression coming through here from the Thresh player. And, you know, Sivir versus Corki, this is one of the matchups that Corki, it doesn't look great on paper, but can actually shove back relatively well and stop a lot of the fast push that can come through. RNG, they have a very mid-spiking composition as soon as the Triforce and Manamune are finished up, and let's see if they can make it work.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, let's get onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, M3 taking on RNG for our third matchup of the evening. Of course, game one right now. M3 starting off on the blue side. Xiaohu in his fancy skin is going to be waiting around. No early invades to come through, just a 5-point defense system.
But one important thing to note is already Sivir in the top lane.
Yeah.
Looking to see if they can, even if the deep wards go through right now, Sivir has snuck up there nice and early, but SMLZ backs away.
He's going to be heading back to base, so they do have a whole lot of wards. There's no way that RNG can get through. Lay's just cancelling auto attacks over and over here. Shock Blast not going to find the mark as Xiaohu whiffs that one a little bit, but
that is
nothing given away.
That is what makes that skin. The sound of the non-accelerated Shock Blast.
Yep.
Actually frustrates me when they accelerate. It doesn't sound as good.
Well, let's hope that Xiaohu never actually
uses
the gate. Just never levels it. Don't even need to.
I know he can level it, he's just not allowed to use it.
All right. So that means that you can use your
hammer
knockback.
Yeah,
your knockback in the hammer form. That's good, because that one's useful. Gate, what does that do?
Key
really
versus Rise, that hammer. Oh, he's against Vlad. This is over.
Yeah,
Abandonship, Atlas.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Move on. Whereas we are going to have standard lanes here as RNG are going to have Let Me there up in the top lane. Just waiting around in the brush for now, but those minions are going to meet, and everyone's going to be most definitely happily in their lanes as per usual.
Yeah, and long sword here with 3 pots means that Xiaohu are going to be able to stay healthy in this lane. Doesn't need to be able to sustain because Dade's going to try and poke him early game. Do have to watch for Jace's level 2 all-in though. It's one of the things that sneaks up on you because he's able to get that empowered auto attack through in the hammer stance.
Yeah, and if he can get it before Dade hits level 2 as well, he's not going to have the pull in order to get away, so a lot of free damage could come out of Xiaohu if he's able to shove this one out. Of course, is going to land that level 2 now, but not going overly aggressive just yet.
Yeah, just trying to shove him in, and this is what you like to do against Vladimir. Otherwise, you get harassed under turret, as it's very even.
MLXG struggling against the Crimson Brambleback.
Yeah, died.
Yeah. Oh, well, Death Sentence actually going to land here in the bottom lane as well as SMLZ trying to use that spell shield to stop some of the CC. Lay going to get his flay removed, but RNG with some decent harass damage on the AD carry.
Yeah, actually just pretty even across the board there. Yeah. M3 able to equalize with a great Janna Monsoon, and already zoning up here in the top lane is Looper. That lane looks like it was fairly frozen. Didn't get a good look at all the minion wave. Yeah, it is frozen, so Looper just doing his best to force him off there. Missing some CS.
Yeah, both sides actually missing a bit of fun. There is Dade. Cute little sidestep, going to dodge the shock blast.
Dade doing the same thing now that the jungler isn't a threat of ganking because, you know, you saw him execute. Wow.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, Xiaohu with a fair bit of damage there in the mid lane. You mentioned the level 2 all-in. Wasn't expecting the level 3.
Yeah.
Still pretty similar.
No ignite though, so not very much kill threat coming through there. Looking for more of the poke.
Yeah, doesn't want to get hemo-plagued, I guess.
Oh, round 2, MLXG versus Red Buff.
This is the hot matchup here, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got smite, so he's fine this time.
Okay, down to 400 health, but nails it. We definitely need to give him the props for it, as Condi is going to get spotted out there by the ward that MLXG just placed down. And Let Me does need to be careful there on the top side of the map.
But that's even more CS denied up in the top lane.
Double shields there for SMLZ as he just eats some extra mana. Oh, blocks the body slam, does MLXG. Gets the flash out, flashes over as well.
Jason's going to beat him here.
Yeah, red buff's there. No knock-up to come through from the Unburrow just because he'd used it before. The gate is available for Xiaohu. There's the next knock-up. Auto attacks from the W, and Xiaohu able to get the damage down, but MLXG gets the kill.
Yeah, MLXG really stuck with that. More action.
Yeah, meanwhile on the bottom lane, Lei going very, very low as Whoosh, overly aggressive, flashes forward, picks up the kill. He's going to trade his life for it, but Love CD grabs that one. Is this going to be a double kill for the Janna? There's the flash forward. Howling Gale locks up the double. And M3, I guess, win that trade in the bottom lane.
Yeah, but the gold went over to Whoosh on the other side of it, so going to be a little bit accelerated here as a support. See whether he goes for the GA option that we saw popularized by Zero.
I don't know whether popularized is the right word, but Xiaohu's going to find Dade here. Not a lot of mana on the Jace as he's wandering around. The pull is going to be used, so Dade going to be safe for now. Pops the Ghost. He's just going to wander away. Transfusion keeping him more healthy than he was before.
Yeah, so able to get back in here, start farming up because Xiaohu is relatively low on mana at least. So Dade going to stick around. Actually, now looks like he wants to recall. He's going to do the sneaky thing and just go transfuse wolves until he's healthy.
Ah, cute. Not actually going to try and kill them though, because these guys are angry.
Yeah, they're off. Don't get too crazy.
Yeah, do they crit anymore?
No, they don't.
Thank goodness. And Xiaohu just going to accelerate a Shock Blast. You're exactly right. Noise nowhere near as cool. Let me just going to clear out this minion wave. Utilizing that passive, of course, the extra little dot that you get from that Titan's Wrath as well, pretty useful for clearing out these waves. As SMLZ is going to hang out, freeze this wave up just a little bit. He can hold it there with the Eye of the Storm as long as he likes. And Whoosh now with the makings of a Phage.
Yeah, and because the Combine hasn't come through just yet, it's still a fair bit stronger on the Sivir as Condi has been spotted by SMLZ.
Body blocks the Prey Seeker.
MLXG, sorry, too many letters.
SMLMXG. That's a bit ridiculous down here. City and SMLZ getting another trade in their favor. SMLZ now with a bit of a level advantage as well as he made it back to lane a little bit before Whoosh did. Got a little bit more of that minion wave stacked up as well as a couple of wards there in the bottom lane for M3 as well. Going to make sure that they know that there's no MLXG sneaking up on them. And creep going to be missed.
That was just a really snowball Sightstone coming through there for Love CD. So the benefit of picking up a double kill means that the AD carry, very safe, can push up if he wants to.
MLXG still makes his way in. There's the death sentence. Alley-ooped onto SMLZ. He's going to get knocked up, and this is most definitely a kill. Whoosh, he's going to lock that one down and now have some free time in this lane.
And I was saying, feels very safe, but you know, the danger of warding deep against Rek'Sai is the fact that can tunnel under those walls, able to get in, effect a very good gank, and all of a sudden, SMLZ goes straight for an Avarice Blade, just abandoning the lane. Corki now a little bit too far ahead.
Yeah, and of course, Corki with that earlier power spike anyway was going to be difficult for Sivir, so just saying, okay, well, I'm going to sit back and farm. I'm pretty much done here.
Yeah, want nothing to do with it. MLXG looking to get busy again in the mid lane this time around. Dade staying very healthy with that revolver, but you have to say that early game jungle, even after MLXG went down to his red buff, has been fairly in RNG's favor.
Yeah, well, I think this is why MLXG actually opts for more ganking. He's just a little bit frightened of the jungle. Tends to get the better of him. Another empowered Shock Blast there.
Yeah, Dade just doesn't care anything.
No, he doesn't. Transfusion is there to the skies from Xiaohu, but just transfuses it all back up. The revolver is, of course, there for Dade, so more than happy just to hang around, cop a whole lot of harass, and just keep using that Tides of Blood. Doesn't even matter.
Looper still a little bit ahead, but Spectre's Tower has been picked up by Letme, so that top lane going to be very hard for Rise to push the Nautilus around now. And I think it's really going to come down to the bottom lane. Mid and top, just both happy to farm and scale up, but right now it's on Whoosh to see if he can keep pushing SMLZ around. This has been the one question mark for M3 lately. And once again, it seems that the bottom lane, even though up in CS, is struggling.
Yeah, well, of course, Corki here with a bit of an earlier power spike. Oh, Dade went incredibly low. Hemoplay going to go off into Xiaohu, but he's going to be fine as well. Keeps the cleanse at the same time, which is important. Dade just going to keep transfusing his way up. MLXG looking for a little bit of a catch here as the empowered Shock Blast comes through. Nice use of the pull. Dodges out of the way of that one. That's a brilliant reaction time there for Dade.
Yeah, it certainly is, and this is a frustrating thing about Vladimir. He's not dead until you actually put the final nail in the coffin. MLXG now, a risky invade. Gragas is just on Wolves. If he smites that, no, he hasn't got it available. They're going to get it.
Yep, Jahu easily going to be able to come through, just smacks it away, and Dade going to continue farming, but there's no blue buffs.
Spotted.
Oh, is going to have to use that flash to get over the wall. Condi actually finds him. There's the explosive cast. Locks it down for himself. Dade makes his way around as well. The pull's there. Baits out the flash. The slow's still going to be available, but MLXG not going to get barreled. Then M3 just going to steal away a red buff by the look.
So Condi gets one back. Able to get a kill on the backing Xiaohu, who probably should have just left. There's more action in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Descent's not going to find anyone. Was trying to sort of pick his way through the Jukes, but like probably outthought himself just a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't know if Love City could have ran that quick
to
actually get across.
Would have been an interesting flash too. Not entirely sure. Oh, that was a big one. That was huge into the back of SMLZ and Love City. There's the flash into the box as well. SMLZ very, very slow as he throws out the Dark Passage. Whoosh, gonna take the shield. Flashes again for another kill. Double teleports for both of these top laners as Looper. He's pretty strong, but they are gonna back away as Love City very, very low. And with Let Me turning up as well means that they can't turn anything around.
Yeah, Looper wanted nothing to do with it, especially as soon as Nautilus was in there. All the lock-up CC meant that Whoosh would have had a field day. And it's just the sheen and the components of a Phage. As soon as Whoosh gets his Trinity Force, you feel that SMLZ is going to be in even more trouble.
Yeah, and you're looking at this lane as well, and if SMLZ had picked up a couple of those kills early on, it could have been a very different story. It's definitely the difference between the likes of a BF sword and a pickaxe. So, look, this Sivir not exactly as happy as she could have been in the early stages of that one, but look, they'll take what they can get at this point, and M3 still ahead in gold by about 200.
Yeah, so M3, they are farming a little bit better in the top lane, especially in the jungle position. You have to think that Condi makes up a lot of that gold differential right now.
Thankfully, he took away the red buff from MLXG.
Yeah, 500. So yeah, jungle going in Condi's favor, but everything else right now seems to just be slightly in RNG.
Yeah, well, 400 gold, of course, not very much at all. Blue buff now going to be locked down by RNG, and they did grab the first dragon as well. So after everything's said and done, 500 gold for a dragon seems about appropriate at this stage of the game anyway. Xiaohu not quite able to estimate the damage of the Shock Blast, but in the end is going to be fine.
Yeah, and he's got the Manamune already in there at only 11 minutes into the game. As soon as that Trinity Force comes through, expect them to start grouping around their power spike. Jace is one of the few champions that doesn't need the transform of the tier. Loves it to come through, don't get me wrong. Means that the overdrive, the W, just does so much more damage. But actually just needs the mana to continue to siege down turrets, and has it already.
Yeah, and probably just be happy to pick up possibly a Brutalizer as his next option, as Dredgeline going to be used by Let Me just to get him out of trouble, as Looper with a massive CS advantage here of just over 20. Condi going to be taking down some Raptors as well. A lot of vision on the top side of the map for M3 as far as RNG's jungle is concerned, and Xiaohu forced to clear away with an accelerated Shock Blast, but that blue buff definitely helping him out. And it's the bottom lane. This is the story of the game.
Yeah, it certainly is. This is where a lot of the action is going to happen. If we just hit top lane, as a MLXG spotted out here,
yeah, he's going to tunnel himself away. Gets slowed down by Love CD just a little bit.
So Let Me is behind, you know. Don't get me wrong, he's about 30 CS now, and Looper's doing a great job. But you saw how he was playing with the brushes. Wow.
Okay, Dade getting a lot of burst damage down, but it is going to be traded back there from Xiaohu as he cleared out the minions. Turret gets a bit upset at Dade, and Condi just going to find MLXG here as well, who's going to clear out the pink ward.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is when you play against Ryze at the moment, it's really important to be able to play around your brushes. So as soon as he gets that 5th stack up, what you want to do is you want to run through as many brushes as you can, and Ryze generally drops a ward in the first one because he wants to catch you. And yeah. Because there's 3 brushes up top now, you can avoid a lot of the damage, and that's exactly what Let Me was doing. Soaking experience hasn't really been able to CS as effectively as he would like, but going to be useful just through the CC and how tanky he gets with the Titan's Wrath leveling up there. So not a horrible story, you know. Ryze is a very good lane bully against melee top laners.
But is the story of the top lane sort of more about keeping the Ryze down as opposed to having the lane go even against the Nautilus?
So Ryze actually is really weird in that he does a lot of damage and is great at going forward, but he's actually pretty squishy right now if you do catch him out of position. So Nautilus's CC, especially coupled with MLXG, is going to mean that they can always get at least an even trade going in there as Looper puts down some damage.
Yeah, the overdrive there as well. Going to get locked down again is our MLXG as he just takes so many spells. Looper cycling them so beautifully. Couldn't even take the lens.
Yeah, and that's why it got changed next patch. So
yeah.
has been changed now on live for only the queue to be able to do that, so you can get 2 or 3, but that was 4 rune prisons in a row. Yeah, if you're expecting to be able to go into solo queue and do that sort of thing to people, we have definitely made sure that you're not able to do that. My goodness. A little bit ridiculous there as Looper demonstrating exactly why Rise such a high priority pick at the moment. 1,000 gold now the lead for M3 off the back of that one, but we'll see whether RNG can use the fact that their champions are all spiking right now. We've got, of course, like you mentioned before, the Manamune for Xiaohu, but that's a Trinity Force here for Whoosh at the same time as Dade taking more damage from Xiaohu. So what Xiaohu's doing to get all that damage down at the same time is using the W in gun form, then jumping and make sure it's the hammer attacks that come through. A little bit more AD added to them, allows him to combo it with the E and the knockback and then get the swap back into gun form in case Dade wants to try and return any fire. And that means that he's able to trade effectively. But right now, Dade is staying up in CS in that lane, making sure that he's always healthy. Yeah, and he's got the transfusion as well, already back to half health here at the same time. So Dade is going to eat minions over and over again. Condi looked for a steal there on the next red buff, but not going to find it as blue buff has already been taken. And at least be able to grab that one away. Xiaohu not going to get a sneaky one more time as sort of a battle of health versus mana here in the mid lane is once again Xiaohu going to go aggressive. Transfusion on top of him, but he's got the W doing some work. Transfusion is down. There's the pull at a great time. Xiaohu, oh, the flash from Dade over the shock blast and gets the 1v1. And this is a Dade we've been waiting to see the entirety of the time in the LPL. Yeah. Hasn't been playing to his usual standards and just able to get in Xiaohu's face. Xiaohu overcommitted, thought he was bullying the lane, and Dade just shuts him down. That was a flat-out outplay. Wonderful stuff from Dade. Look, this is what they were expecting from this star mid laner from Korea. Yeah, it certainly was, and he's gone very smart itemization. This is something that I love to point out with Dade. Early arm guard, as soon as he has that revolver picked up, no CDR coming through, actually goes into the Zhonya's already, so he is team fight ready. Can get in there and really mix it up. Able to get multiple spell rotations through, but Nautilus is in bottom lane, able to pick up a turret. Yeah, Let Me just going to move on down here, and they're going to zone them away from a whole creep wave that's hitting that turret at the same time. MLXG going to keep clearing out wards. Really good timing coming through there from Let Me, actually, because Dragon also available right now. Let's take another look at the outplay in the mid lane. Dade just trading back, making sure he's autoing with the spells. Drops the ultimate, pulls all the damage out of the hammer form, then flashes forward after the shock blast goes by, just to really rub salt into the wounds, I think. Most definitely. It is going to mean that RNG do pick up their second Dragon, though. M3 probably not too worried about that, just considering the fact that RNG are just spiking in power. They've just got a little bit more in their arsenal at the moment as far as the whole team is concerned. They've only just started scaling on the top lane Rise right now. He just picked up the Rod of Ages. 17 minutes with a tier in his build is absolutely massive, especially with boots too. And Sivir hasn't even got a completed item. So right now, M3 are more than happy to just let their top and mid laner scale. They're going to get much stronger as the game goes on. And RNG are kind of on a race against the clock. They've got this Siege comp. They've got the mid-game Corki and Jace. Need to make work happen now around the Rift. Otherwise, by about 33 minutes, the game will probably be out of control if they haven't got about a 5,000–6,000 gold lead. Yeah, it seems to me like Looper as well is a bit of a ticking time bomb. Already 40 CS in the lead as Let Me just sacrifice that top lane. He's going to be able to pick up a few creeps here on the bottom side of the map, but it's a little bit too little too late. As M3 actually closing on that side, and look at the vision available from this M3 lineup. They have got so many wards, and they're so aggressively placed. Yeah, just protecting the top side of the map, making sure that where Looper and Dade were the two players that were getting ahead are nice and safe. And right now, they're sending more people into Looper's lane. They recognize Rise a huge threat. Very hard to push against Let Me because of the cooldown reduction, cooldown that he'll have on the E. Able to get in there, and they've caught MLXG out. Condi looking they're going for man. Top lane. Yeah, Dade's actually on a ward here as well. Might find himself a little bit out of position. There's the Death Sentence Phosphorus Bomb as well. Dade going to use the Zhonya's. He's got the pull here as well. As Xiaohu's going to come around. He's going to finish the job there. As actually, Dade trying to get away. Doesn't quite have the ghost. As Xiaohu is going to be able to lock down that kill. No summoners expended. Dade just going to sack his life just for being a little bit out of position. And they got the turret trade, so not really a bad thing right now for M3. We'll trade back, but they'll get a lot of damage onto this tier 2. Yeah, and M3, of course, don't need to move out of this bottom side of the map as well. They know exactly where everyone from RNG is, and they know that they're definitely not on that bottom side of the map. So Two turrets for one. Good trade.
2 for 1. Kill onto Dade. So still a little bit back for RNG, but Loop is going to die as well. So 2 kills for 2 turrets.
He nearly got a kill in a 1v3.
That's a little bit silly. Rise, ladies and gentlemen. M3 though, once again, they get another turret. So that is 3 for 1 turret and 2 kills. So I'd say definitely worthwhile.
Yeah. And RNG looking to get a little bit more ahead in this one, try and take a tier 2 for themselves, but not able to grab it. Ultimate burn.
Yeah, on the hunt from SMLZ. They're speeding up Love City as well, who's warded at least the brush here as Ignite goes down onto MLXG. Whoosh, just giving up to the Wolves as he's trying to trade. Not going to happen. SMLZ locks down that kill. And MLXG may still die. Yeah, it looks like they're going for it. Can be altered back. Yeah, there's the explosive cast. Condi completely out of mana, though. There is going to be a dark passage. Flashes on top of it.
Rise is behind them.
Going to be okay. Oh, the teleport in. Looper decides he can't make it.
Yeah, but they get the inside track on the mid lane again, going to get even more damage done to structures. M3 right now just rotating around the map better than what RNG are.
Lemmy is going to make his way in here, so Dade not exactly able to get too much extra damage down to the turret, but that does not detract from what you said at all. The fact that M3 have just been in the right places at the right times this game, especially over that last 5-minute period.
Yeah, so blue buff will be secured here. Maybe Looper giving Rise even more ability. It's just that Rise is mana-gated. He doesn't need the cooldown reduction at all. Yeah. He tends to go by the time that his combo's over, so
the fact that he wants to just walk around pressing Q as well, which is a little bit of a problem for Rise at the moment. But Whoosh is going to be able to pick himself up a red buff. And how much of this damage spike RNG have left, or is it even dissipating now?
No, they still have a lot of damage to come through. You know, they've picked up all the core items on Xiaohu, but they still need the second one to come through for Whoosh. Bad news is the fact that Siva got the shutdown, so he's actually doing relatively well in the matchup now, especially because we're sitting on Avarice Blade for so long. Love CD uses the ultimate, but this is the siege that we were talking about. Corki, Jace, oppressive in the mid game underneath turrets, and they have the ability to dive whenever they want.
And they've got Let Me there as well if they need to disengage from anything. Of course, the counter engage from a Nautilus, fantastic as well. MLXG with a fair few knockups in his own right. They are going to be able to brute force this mid lane. RNG easily able to take that one down. And M3 just looks like they know exactly what you were talking about as far as the siege capabilities of this RNG squad. And they move all the way away. This inner turret might even go down. Yeah, looking to be able to set it up. Looper is behind them looking for a flank. Might be a little bit dangerous here as RNG might find him first, but he is just going to be unseen there. Massive creep wave in the top lane, though, means that RNG are just going to try and escape. Xiaohu just going to help MLXG take down that Rift Scuttler, and he's going to be able to grab that. Condi just going to get Prey Sort. So that's what the RNG composition is designed to do, really. Siege up around turrets, get a mid-game advantage. The problem is right now, M3 with a better late-game scaling comp have a 3,000 gold advantage, and their two mages are very much just run at you and burst you down kind of mages. And when you throw them together, Vladimir and Rise scale very well, and Vlad is going to make sure that Rise's damage doesn't drop off this game. So see whether they can make that work. Next Dragon Fight is probably where they want to go for it. Condi being caught out a little bit, but 30 seconds and we'll probably see our first real 5v5 of the game. Yeah, Dade actually already with the distortion enchantment as well, so it wants to be flashing and ghosting everywhere this game. Gets the movement speed increase with it, and it's just so important on Rise. Oh, MLSG does steal away his blue buff. He's going to die for it as Condi going to explosive cast him in the face. That was a really bad decision. You can't take the Lantern when you're rooted, and Dade was on the other side of the wall anyway. Not worth it because they've given up the first dragon of the game, and that was really the last win condition RNG were holding on to. Their comp's going to start falling away. They are behind. And now they can't race to really that 5th dragon position by about the 30-minute mark. Very unfortunate. They do deny a blue buff, but when there's not too many people that really wanted it. They didn't even deny it. Went on to Condi. He's the one that wants it anyway. Oh, well, I guess he did manage to actually kill him. Yeah. It's the gold, though, man. For the kill? I agree. That's why he shouldn't have done it. MLXG, though, still struggling in the farm department. It's pretty ridiculous. 35 creeps from the jungle here at 20 minutes. Not something that we're used to seeing here in the LPL, especially not from MLXG, who is sort of one of those players on the side of RNG that's expected to help this team be carried through. Xiaohu now might be well and truly out of position, but in the end it is going to be M3. I thought they were going to engage on that one. They didn't have the ultimate available from Gragas, which is why they didn't go for it. But yeah, you're exactly right, and this is the importance of securing Gragas for Condi. This is his best champion, and able to really make it work in this game so far. It doesn't help that MLXG had to fight the red buff level 1 by himself. Yeah, he had a buff red buff. Going to get his rocket dodge, but still able to get a lot of damage down. Acceleration gate going to get him out of there as well.
And Gragas are behind them.
Yeah, Lupa trying to close in here. There's so much damage already from SMLZ. Boomerang's going across as well. Letme is able to stop this one up, and Lei's going to be the first one to die. Monsoon in the back line there, keeping M3 safe. SMLZ flashes forward as Valkyrie comes out from Whoosh, but they're trying to get away. Nice use of the Riptide from Letme. He's going to make sure everyone's slowed, and RNG, they only lose one.
Yeah, full disengage coming through, though, and M3 are rolling. Looking at Baron, actually, this early in the game. Rise tears it apart. It is important to note, but teleport still available on Letme means it is a risky, I guess, idea.
Yeah, risky proposition.
Look how much damage Lupa does.
That is silly. Dade as well with a lot of consistent damage as well, not to mention SMLZ. So 3,000 health now on this Baron. Teleport's coming in from RNG. Oh, MLXG went for the steal. He's not going to find it though. Condi very low in the back of the pit. He's going to flash out of the way. Letme tanky as all heck as Xiaohu tries to get in there, but Dade just pulls up. He's going to die as well as SMLZ going to pick up the credit for that one. Actually, Dade got that. Very nice. And the
minion waves in top and bottom, all pushing in M3's favor. It means that with 3 people dead, they're going to be able to rotate in, take away at least top, and SMLZ starting work on the mid lane. M3 just outplaying RNG.
This has been a strategic
Somehow Love CD got that kill. Yeah. Janna.
Well, the Janna does have a Magi.
So it's important. 3-0 and 6. Great game coming through from Love CD. And after a rough early start, even SMLZ starting to get in on this teamfight action.
Yeah, 237 creeps as well, so he's 20 ahead, and they're going to take down an inhibitor turret. And the amount of global gold that's available for M3 in comparison to RNG is ridiculous. 3 turrets to 7 that M3 have managed to pick up. Now with the Dragon buff as well, the extra 6%.
And this is a scaling comp. 10,000 gold ahead as a scaling comp. We said if RNG weren't 6,000 gold ahead at this time, that they were going to be, I guess, struggling to win the game. And M3 have still got Rise, still got Vladimir, double Infinity Edge. That has to be a misclick, SMLZ, although you've run out of base, so it doesn't matter if it is.
Okay.
No, it's not. It is.
It's double Infinity Edge.
Could be a visual bug. We'll wait and see.
No. I believe in you, SMLZ. Wants the extra crit. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that one, guys, but...
Because it moves around, you know.
Yeah, and they removed the crit.
No, but client auto moves your items, and it looks like it is cheaper than the other ones. So.
That's a good point.
But, don't know, could be.
Well, I guess they'd both be in the same relative slot. If they are both Infinity Edges. Okay, well, either or. He does have a lot of yellow items, so it definitely is color coordinated. I like that. Lupa is standing here on the bottom side of the map, just waiting for that creep wave to approach him. Dade going to continue split pushing in the mid lane as well, continuing to have a whole lot of vision control as well as M3. RNG trying to get some back. MLXG's cleared out a whole lot of wards.
And Dade, because he's gone with this Zonya's Hourglass first up, hasn't prioritized any CDR. We normally see a lot of CDR coming through for Vladimir just for the consistent damage output. He is all about the burst right now. Got the Death Cap, got the Spell Pen boots as well. One rotation from Dade will clean up a team fight right now.
Dade actually built that Rabbidan's Death Cap outright as well. So if we thought that his damage was pretty putrid before, it is most definitely filthy.
Yeah, it certainly is. So with the Rise and the Vladimir going to be able to in there doing the consistent damage. Lupa with the Hemo Plague, he's got the Transform and going a little bit tankier now. See whether M3 are able to get in and close this one up nice and clinically. We said that they are one of the, when they're ahead, M3 are actually one of the better closing teams in the LPL. Don't muck around too much.
Well, they've already got that inhibitor turret in the top lane. They are sieging that one down now. No more Baron buff available for M3. There's the poke from Xiaohu still ringing true onto Dade here. SMLZ though looking for an inside track. Does sort of throw out a very pleased spell shield as MLXG looking to try and get in on this one. Condi getting it knocked up, but it is just going to be the disengage immediately. Beautiful ultimate from Condi. Immediately exploded his layers. They do actually answer one kill. Lupa dead very early on as Dade with the Hemo Plague down. Whoosh does need to be so careful. Blows the heal to make sure that he doesn't die, but Letme not going to get the same treatment as they are going to be able to take down this inhibitor. And RNG with only 3 remaining. They're going to be able to hold on to the rest of their base, but not for too much longer.
And there's just too many threats coming through. You see they turn around, blow up Lupa with all the consistent damage that came through. And then Dade flies through with the Ghost, doesn't even have to burn Flash. Gets everything out of Whoosh and then ends up being able to take down the tank in the top lane. Letme right now, M3 are just way too far ahead.
Yeah, I just love this Hemoplague comp as well, if you can call it that. Just because it amplifies all damage, so the AoE aspect that you mentioned before about Sivir, so much more effective when you've got that Hemoplague on your target.
Yeah, it certainly is, and right now you look at Sivir, there's so much magic damage on the team. You see Banshee's Veil, Merc Treads coming through for everyone. No one has picked up armor.
Yeah, that's why there's 2 Infinity Edges there.
SMLZ just having an absolute field day in this game, able to claw his way back in after a rough start.
And we just saw his items there outside of our little item pane that we've got. And yeah, most definitely Infinity Edges. So, look, it's a new build.
It's actually not. It was done a lot when Infinity Edge had more crit.
Yeah, it doesn't anymore, though.
Yep.
So I guess it's new now that the Infinity Edge has been changed. I'm not going to say that it's good, but it's new.
It's got lots of crit, it's got lots of AD.
It just seems rude to me, you know. There's no Infinity Edge yet on Woosh. He'd be more than happy to grab one, and then SMLZ's got 2.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he would trade it for like a Trinity Force or something.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe put this stuff, honestly. No, it's a little bit less expensive. RNG, though, looking to try and consolidate. They have pushed out the top wave just a little bit, but M3 move towards the bottom side. They're going to let the Super Creeps do the work for them on the top side of the map and just try and pressure this bottom inhibitor turret, and we'll see whether RNG can hold on. Yeah,
and you see big dive potential coming through right now. They've got Condi. He's a super tanky member. RNG kind of looking for that last-ditch engage, you feel, but M3 just trying to spread them thin across the map and continue to push in. Dade's still in the mid lane.
Dade just pressing up this wave as much as he can. A whole lot of wave clear now in this Vladimir, as SMLZ just going to use that spell shield. Eat up a bit of the poke from Woosh.
And you see that they're respecting the engage coming through from Let Me. Does get caught there, Condi, but he's not the member they want. Top lane minions already in the base, probably one more wave, and RNG will have to back off to deal with them, so you can see they're trying to get it going.
Yeah, Xiaohu looking for Dade here, but he's not going to be able to continue any further. These minion waves are just falling so quickly. The wave clear from the mid laner and the AD carrier.
They're sending Lay to try and keep them off. MLXG now joins him. That might fall. Dade getting back to full health.
Yeah, and M3, they know that there's no Rek'Sai around here. A whole lot of the CC. They are going to be able to push forward a little bit more. Woosh is going to get caught. Valkyrie's going to get him to safety relatively, but RNG now with their carries at such low health can't do anything as there's a Rune Prison onto MLXG. Descent's not going to find Looper as he's got so much damage. It is going to be the turret falling. MLXG going to fall to SMLZ as well. Acronyms dying left, right, and center and picking up kills as well. Dredgeline onto Dade. Brilliant target selection from Let Me, but they don't have MLXG. There's the explosive cast. Hemoplague doing so much work. SMLZ just eats through the members of RNG, and this is a new M3 lineup spawn, and I'm so impressed.
Yeah, and you know, we mentioned people have been doing the we'll let Callista rise through game 1, and once again, they're made pay. Looper had a very good game, but it was really Dade. It was just so much pressure